the headlines. The turning on receiving and returning results for civil servants working at the Public Administration Service Center of the city. Cần Thơ City Department of Education and Training announced the benchmark scores and admission results of the high school entrance exam. According to Cần Thơ General Hospital, of the total number of patients with stomach diseases, over 60% are infected with Helicobacter pylori bacteria. Hello, and it's good to see you back here in this edition of Cần Thơ News and Top News today. On the afternoon of June 15th, the Information and Communication Technology Center under the Department of Science and Technology of Cần Thơ City held the training on receiving and returning results for civil servants working at the Public Administration Service Center of the city. The training session covered key content areas including information system for handling administrative procedures, document management and operation systems, the city data portal, specialized data transmission networks, and specialized information systems for departments and sectors of the city. The training continues to be conducted for all communes and wards in the city on June 16th. This plan is to prepare for the merger of provincial-level administrative units, ensuring the stability and connectivity of information systems, shared platforms, and the entire digital infrastructure on July 1st. On June 16th morning, the Party Cell of Cần Thơ City Farmers Union organized the 17th Party Congress for 2025-2030 term to evaluate the implementation results of the resolution of the past term and set out directions and tasks for the new term. During 2020-2025 term, the party cell effectively led all aspects of work. The movement of good farmers in production and business strongly spread, with nearly 296,000 households participating, more than 47,000 households achieving the title. The union supported 1,650 poor households and presented 76 farmers warm home worth more than 4.5 billion Vietnam dong. The Congress set out directions to continue improving leadership capacity, promoting the role of the union in building new rural areas and developing a civilized and modern Cần Thơ city. Thoroughly implementing the directive documents of the government, the Ministry of Public Security and the People's Committee of Cần Thơ City on the peak period of fighting against prevention and suppression of smuggling, trade fraud, counterfeit goods, and infringement of intellectual property rights. Cần Thơ City Public Security have synchronously deployed professional measures, concentrated forces and means to simultaneously launch the fight, initially achieving many positive results. During the general campaign, functional forces detected 6 violations related to smuggling, trade fraud, production, trade of counterfeit goods, intellectual property infringement, goods of unknown origin. In addition, the city public security increased coordination with functional agencies to establish an intersectoral inspection team to launch a peak campaign to fight against and repel smuggling, trade fraud, counterfeit goods, and intellectual property infringement. The by 9 violations were detected and 11 cases are awaiting test results. In the coming time, the city public security will continue to strengthen propaganda and dissemination of laws, concentrate forces, and strengthen coordination to effectively implement plans to combat, crack down on, and handling smuggling, trade fraud, production and trade of counterfeit goods, intellectual property infringement, and goods of unknown origin. Cần Thơ City Department of Education and Training announced the benchmark scores and admission results of the high school entrance exam for 2025-2026 school year. In option 2A, the school with the highest admission score is Javong Lim High School in Ninh District with 21.30 points, followed by the Pedagogical Practice High School under Cần Thơ University with 20.35 points, Nguyễn Văn Hồng High School with 17.75 points, and Khán High School 16.50 points. Admission score to Little Dam High School for the gifted is considered for each specialized subject from 28.6 points to 38.05 points, of which the English specialized subject has the highest admission score with 38.05 points, followed by chemistry with 37.80 points. The new point of this year's exam is that the scores of the three subjects, including literature, math, foreign language, are not multiplied by the coefficient. High schools are allowed to consider additional admission if the number of students coming to complete the admission procedures is less than the enrollment quota. The top scorer of the entrance exam is Thành of Lương Thế Vinh Secondary School, Ninh District, admitted to the Pedagogical Practice High School, scored 29.5 points. Thơ of Lương Thế Vinh Secondary School, admitted to the English major Lý Tự Trọng High School for the Gifted, scored 38.90 points. Admitted candidates must complete the admission procedures no later than 7 days after the announcement of the results. Currently, Cần Thơ City has over 7,000 hectares of durian growing area with an estimated output of about 70,000 tons. In 2024, the city's durian production and export situation achieved many positive results. Into the first half of this year, the consumption market was difficult and prices fell. To solve the immediate and long-term difficulties, the Department of Industry and Trade of Cần Thơ City has proactively asked for permission from the People's Committee of Cần Thơ City, coordinated with Cần Thơ International Airport and businesses to organize connections for domestic durian consumption. The first step is to bring 2 tons of durian flesh, equivalent to 7 to 8 tons of whole durian in boxes that ensure quality for distribution at supermarkets and retail stores in Hải Phòng market. The Department of Industry and Trade is based this consumption connection program to create a domestic consumption channel, diversify the market, and help reduce difficulties for durian farmers in Cần Thơ City. Not stopping there, in the coming time, the department plans to continue expanding the durian consumption channel to other major cities such as Hanoi, Da Nang, Vinh, to diversify the domestic market, reducing consumption pressure for farmers and businesses. According to some shared studies, about 70% of the Vietnamese population is infected with Helicobacter pylori or HP bacteria. This is considered the main cause of gastritis, duodenal ulcers, and stomach cancer. According to Cần Thơ General Hospital, of the total number of patients with stomach diseases, over 60% of patients are infected with Helicobacter pylori or HB bacteria. On average, every day, Cần Thơ General Hospital receives and treats over 300 patients with stomach diseases such as gastritis and duodenitis. Of the patients who come for examination, over 60 are prescribed gastroscopy by doctors. Since the beginning of the year, the hospital has received and treated 12,266 outpatients and inpatients, including 4,343 gastroscopy patients. The results show that over 60% of patients are positive for Helicobacter pylori bacteria. Pasteur Institute of Ho Chi Minh City revealed that infectious diseases type A influenza, H5N1, dengue fever, hand, foot, and mouth disease, measles, whooping cough in a certain region are being well controlled and tending to decrease. Accordingly, type A H5N1 flu cases were detected early and did not spread to the community. Dengue fever and hand, foot, and mouth disease are at an average level compared to the same period last year, and no unusual changes have been detected in the group of pathogens. Infectious diseases presented by vaccines in the expanded immunization program, measles, whooping cough, are under control and tend to decrease, and no major outbreaks have occurred. To strengthen the prevention of infectious diseases, the Institute has studied the impact of climate change and environmental pollution on the development and spread of microorganisms. At the same time, it has deployed models to predict common endemic diseases, built an early warning system for the risk of disease outbreaks, established a monitoring system for agents in wastewater with antibiotic resistance and key agents in the southern region. Updated weather forecast don't shut up this edition of continues. If you want to watch again in its bulletin, please visit our website kênh.tv.vn. And thanks for being with us. Goodbye and see you next time.